Alright, so this next episode I'm a little conflicted about. Because on the one hand, I can see the argument of why most of the fandom can consider this next episode to be a good episode. But on the other hand, I don't know if I can really get behind it. But let's just go over and see what it is. This is She Talks to Angel. So this episode begins at Fluttershy's sanctuary, where we get something honestly a little bit problematic, but I'll get into it when it's actually brought up. But essentially Fluttershy is holding sort of a therapy session of all the predator and prey animals in the sanctuary.
It is business. Do other predators feel that way too? Would any prey like to respond?
And in the midst of all this, Angel, being the brat that he's been for 9 seasons, tries to get Fluttershy's attention, but because she's so busy with the sanctuary, he basically is nothing more than being nothing but a needy brat.
You can't work together. Stop! I'm sorry. The more you distract everyone, the longer this will take. I am listening to you. But if you really want to be heard, you should join our Predator Prey support group. Then you could talk to everyone here.
Yeah, judging based on the reactions, I highly doubt that Angel is very popular in the Predator Prey community.
You can teach all these hungry predators the delights of a carrot-based cuisine.
Let's get into it as she explains while Angel continues to be a brat.
Everyone, I think someone just wants a little attention.
Yeah, it's probably something that you've been dealing with for 9 seasons.
Now, since we all need to get along, what if all predators promise to only eat vegetables while staying at the sanctuary?
Pause it right there. That's what I want to talk about. Now, this is honestly rather dumb in terms of the animal food chain because it's nature. Fluttershy, of all ponies who is an expert in animals, should know that giving predators a vegetarian diet is not a good thing. And I understand that there are people like this in this world, and some of it go through with it with dogs and cats. But much like the cartoon hero pointed out, if you basically put your pet on a vegan diet, then quite frankly, you are a horrible pet owner. And Fluttershy, of all ponies, should know this. So that's really just a minor nitpick, but essentially things go out of control when Angel, being the brat that he is, continues to get attention.
You can do it.
And apparently the wolf's name is Sandra. And now Angel being an asshole in 3, 2, 1. And because the wolf's name is Sandra, I think it's only appropriate for me to play this. Yeah, I really had to do that. So essentially, Zecora basically shows up with a new pet, but it's safe to say that Fluttershy has a lot of difficulty in terms of Angel.
Perhaps I can help those two get along before something here can go terribly wrong.
Yeah, you got your work cut out for you, Zecora, considering that this has been going on for 9 seasons, and Angel is essentially still an asshole. So anyways, Zecora basically comes and shows Fluttershy the new animal that they brought with you. Basically some sort of gecko that's red and orange that breathes smoke.
Bringing him here seemed the right thing to do. I've never seen geckos breathe smoke, though. Have you?
Oh, I certainly haven't. I thought we could take a look at its diet. Plus, it's about time for me to give all the animals here a checkup. That's a wonderful idea.
So while Fluttershy basically tries to inspect the gecko, Angel, being Angel, continues to basically mock Fluttershy as a way to get attention.
I wouldn't worry too much. Probably just something mini. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Ah, seeing what you two do, the real question is, can I help you?
You mean me and Angel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's fine. We're fine. I just don't always have time to indulge him.
Yeah, and you pretty much just stood your ground with him since all the crap he put you through and putting your hoof down. And no, I am not getting past that. Alright, so if you probably put two and two together, this is essentially a Fluttershy and Angel focused episode. And while I do appreciate something is different, the fact that this is going to be the episode that's going to try to not necessarily reform Angel, more of a redemption for Angel. Yeah.
But we're best friends.
Even the best of friends need help from time to time. Come visit me in my hut, should you change your mind.
Okay, then.
So then the next couple minutes is essentially Fluttershy trying to go through the list of the things that she has to do on her list because she's so busy, and Angel essentially being a pompous brat just to essentially try to get Fluttershy's attention, even though she's extremely busy with the sanctuary.
Wait, Scout.
What does she want?
Her neck is feeling better, but a massage every day for the next week wouldn't hurt. I'll add it to my list.
Fluttershy, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. This place would be a zoo without you.
Angel! Listen to you for once. Just what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I agree, Fluttershy. Why the hell should we even listen to Angel when almost every second he's been on screen since the beginning of the show, he constantly throws a fit when nothing goes his way? So it's nice to see Fluttershy actually standing up to Angel's bratty behavior for once.
Come back! I meant tell me! Not... Oh.
Well, whatever it is, you're the only one he can tell about it. Little fella just wants you all to himself.
Yeah, and it's probably a bit of a too much of it since apparently he has the pants in the relationship. And of course, terrorizing the animals also doesn't help much.
Angel, I barely made a dent in my to-do list for today.
So they go inside to basically, because it turns out that Fluttershy also has a storage room in her animal sanctuary, and essentially, basically their frustrations finally boil over.
Fruit extract? That's for reviving energy-sapped herbivores. Are you feeling run down? You just like the taste? Angel, that extract is in short supply. What's gotten into you? Every day this week you've been causing trouble when I have work to do.
As I said, Fluttershy, the audience has been putting up with Angel for 9 seasons, and you practically did nothing about it until now.
Of course I know you can't talk to anybody else, but that's not my fault. I have responsibilities. You're right.
So eventually, Angel and Fluttershy decide, you know what, maybe we should go see Sakura. As well as Sakura basically works on what she wants to give them, they vent out their frustrations. I'm sure Fluttershy is venting the frustrations that we've had for Angel throughout the entirety of the show's running history.
Talking to the sanctuary camp. That's where I am when I don't have a class to teach. What do you mean that's the problem? You feel like I'm the only bone you can talk to and all I do is ignore it. Well, I feel like you don't care about my responsibilities.
Do I even need to be here, considering that the episode basically points out the problems for me? And to be fair, it's not like I'm just going to criticize Angel the entire time, because I do understand somewhat where Angel is coming from, where Fluttershy does need to take a break and give attention. But given how she has control over all these animals, and she has taken care of Angels, he is not the center of the universe. But as I said, Fluttershy's basically vegan diet to the basically the predators, is not something to be excused either.
As you can see, we're kind of at an impasse.
Such luck you're coming here indeed. Behold the antidote you need.
Is this what you meant by help us?
When trouble brews between you two, turning sister against brother, true understanding is what do. Each must come to know the other. There's no time to waste. Go directly home, but you both must taste when you're finally alone.
course, or instead of doing the thing that Sakura asked him to do, Angel decides to be a brat, and essentially both him and Fluttershy end up drinking the potion,
Hang on.
and they end up switching bodies.
Pony!
So this episode basically runs into the cliche of the one trope that this show has avoided doing, and that is the body swap episode. Now, I've basically run into a lot of body swap episodes, and 9 times out of 10, body swap episodes are usually the kiss of death, where it doesn't necessarily kill a show, but body swap episodes are usually regarded as one of the show's worst. Really, 2 examples I can think of, both Gravity Falls and The Owl House both did a body swap episode, and from what I heard, they're not really any popular episodes from either show to be enjoyed. Really, the only body swap episode I can think of off the top of my memory is Justice League Unlimited, where in the episode where the Flash ends up switching bodies with Lex Luthor, mostly because, number one, that episode basically tied down with the overarching story of the season, and it gave us the quotable lines of basically the Flash and Lex Luthor's body basically saying that he doesn't wash his hands because he's evil. That is literally the only body swap episode I can think of at the top of my head that's actually considered good. As I said, every other body swap episode from any cartoon I could think of, 9 times out of 10, is usually the kiss of death. So, that's something I needed to get off my chest. So essentially, basically now, it's essentially Angel is now in Fluttershy's body, and Fluttershy is now in Angel's body.
Question. Did we switch bodies? Seriously? I'm a pony? La 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 la. Talking so cool. Do you think this is what the meant to happen? How are you going to do your chores? Really? That's what you're worried about? Well, maybe I don't want to switch back. I've only been able to talk to you since we met, and now I can talk to any pony I want.
And thus we then get to see, well, admittedly, I will admit, Angel in Fluttershy's body, I will admit, does give me a couple of chuckles, as basically now Angel basically goes around and basically proves what the audience has known from 9 seasons, and essentially terrorizes the town, and is essentially an asshole.
You stuff flowers, and so do you. Rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. Toy ball, toy ball, toy ball. Oh, come on. I am so too listening. Could be so bossy because your carrots around here.
So Fluttershy in communication basically tells Angel to essentially knock it the hell off.
You think Sakura gave us the wrong potion? So you're gonna go to her Hasbro Studios and get something to switch us back? All by yourself? You really do know what it's like being a bunny. Good luck with that. I'm gonna go find some carrots. I need to finish your chores? I don't work for you. And caring about other animals is a you thing.
Well, I will give this episode this, since we now know exactly what Angel is saying and thinking, it essentially affirms what the audience already knew. And look, I get that is the point of the episode, but essentially it is very frustrating for me to watch, hearing every word that comes out of Angel's mouth in Fluttershy's body. It only makes me want to have rabbit stew even more. So in Angel's body, Fluttershy finally gives her the stare, which honestly we haven't really seen in a while, and eventually Angel gives in and goes back to the sanctuary to do Fluttershy's chores, while Fluttershy in Angel's body goes to see Sakura.
Anybody know where that useless list of Fluttershy's chores is? Hey, Fluttershy! I was starting to wonder if you'd make it back. Fluttershy! Oh, yeah, that's me. Definitely Fluttershy, 100%. Okay. See how shy I am? I talk to animals, I want to marry Discord.
Angel, don't give the crack shippers any ideas. So basically, Angel basically goes and, as predictable as it is, goes to terrorize the animal.
Well, remember.
So then we see Fluttershy and Angel's body basically go into the forest to find Zecora and runs into Spike and Fluttershy, Spike and Twilight, but because Fluttershy is inside Angel's body, she can't really say what she's thinking, and nobody really understands her.
You know what he's trying to say? Nope. Sorry, Angel. You should probably find Fluttershy. If I see her, I'll let her know you're looking for her.
So while that's happening, we basically see that Fluttershy basically goes and essentially decides to make the animals' lives in the sanctuary a living hell.
And we're going to keep at it until you start to develop a taste for it. Check Mario's trunk. Seems fine to me, as long as we don't need those keys. Anyway, let's see. Massage Clementine's neck. Scout to switch legs.
Wait, the flamingo's name is Scout? I guess maybe Fluttershy must have been reading To Kill a Mockingbird then.
Probably best not to wake him because it makes the thing. Yada, animals. All that's left is monitors the cord gecko until bedtime. Alright, dude. How about we do bedtime now?
White meat or roasted?
Yeah, eating makes me tired too. Which reminds me, there's some carrot extract with my name on it. Okay, let's get you bedded off to dreamland. What do you eat anyway? What do you say, Snake? Can you find something else to eat if I borrow those cookies from my friend here?
Now look, I understand this episode's point is that essentially we have to see Fluttershy's point of view of what Angel's life is like and what Angel has to see from what Fluttershy is going through. But essentially we've been following Fluttershy throughout the entire show, and every single time Angel has been on screen, I essentially wanted to yank his tail off every time he's been on screen. And I get that that's the point of the episode, as it basically proves how much of an asshole Angel has been in the entirety of the show's history. I get that's the point of the episode, and I understand that people actually like it, but I'm sorry, it is so frustrating for me to watch, and it just angers me. So anyways, ignoring this, we see that Fluttershy and Angel's body is essentially barely manages to escape the grasp of an eagle and basically runs into Zecora.
I'm sorry, dear bunny. That thing seems so great, but I don't understand when you sign and wave. A single link to all the world, only one in all the land. How special she must be to you, the one who understands.
I'm assuming Fluttershy is probably thinking to Zecora like, I'm sure that's probably just what she's thinking out of frustration. But Zecora does give some sound advice to Fluttershy.
Perhaps if you explained what you wanted to some pony who understood, if you truly felt heard and valued, all would return to good. And if you were to both apologize, having learned this little lesson, I imagine that might bring an end to the friendship therapy session.
Yeah, getting Fluttershy together and have Angel apologize to her, yeah, good luck with that. So because essentially of what we've known about it, basically, as Angel tries to break into the storage closet, essentially, the vet doesn't realize that Angel done screwed up with the list.
He was on the list. Remember, Antoine wants to have Muriel over for dinner.
Not over for dinner! He wants to have her for dinner!
Wait, what?
So yeah, thanks to Angel's carelessness, essentially now the sanctuary is a little bit out of control, considering that we have a python swallowing and digesting an elephant.
Bad snake! What is going on? You did all the chores on your list, didn't you?
Well, technically I did them, kind of, but more technically it's not my list.
You are a worthy, man, sneaking attorney as a liar. You mother...
I fucking hate this rabbit.
You wrote it! Did I though? What button into you?
Yeah, and I understand that the point of a body swap episode is that the outside characters are not supposed to know the characters that are basically swapping hop each other's bodies, but it makes you think that the vet should have realized that with Sakura showing up, she probably had something to do with this.
You do not want to.
So essentially, Fluttershy and Angel's body barely makes it out alive, but is essentially incredibly wounded, but we actually see Angel do something and essentially be overly concerned about Fluttershy.
What happened?
He's exhausted. Fluttershy, I need a jar of concentrated carrot extract. Stat!
It's lost in the supply room.
Where are your keys?
Any ideas how to get the keys out of the elephant that's inside the snake?
Yeah, I think basically I'm assuming that Ops 3 and Angel told the other animals what had happened between her and Fluttershy, and essentially nobody wants to help him. And who could blame them? Because quite frankly...
Not one person in this room believes that you have the ability to knock me in ass!
And he ain't wrong about that, but essentially Angel says, look, you may not like me, but at the very least, can you do this for Fluttershy at the very least? So essentially the animals do basically get together and rally to basically help basically get the keys out.
Nice one, snake. I guess Fluttershy was right. Predators and prey can work together.
So Angel does end up getting the carrot extract and basically realizes what the audience already knows.
We are so grateful.
So basically the carrot extract is given and Fluttershy and Angel basically air out their grievances.
It was so hard getting to Sakura's hut and impossible getting back. You can't believe I survived like this? I can't believe you work here every day. These animals are crazy. No wonder you don't have time for me.
Yeah. No shit, Sherlock!
My life is hard? No, your life is hard. You never appreciated me? No, I never appreciated you.
You. There is a God after all. So like I said, Fluttershy and Angel essentially do air out their grievances and they give each other a hug, and of course, that ends up reversing the effects.
Oh my goodness, I'm back. I'm up talking again. Oh, Angel, I promise to always make time for you from now on.
So this is where I have an issue with the moral. Now yes, I understand that, you do have to make time for what the other person or friend or child is going through, and that you do have to make time for them. The only problem I have with this is that considering of how bratty Angel was the entire behavior, and it only took him till the last half of the episode to realize how hard Fluttershy is going through, but Fluttershy also knows what Angel has to go through, it feels like the moral seems a little bit counterintuitive, and I understand that this is the last season as they do have to tie up loose ends, but much like with the whole redemption for Garble, I find it too little too late for me to consider this Angel's redemption, considering that he's been nothing but a brat every episode that he's appeared in, with the exclusion of a handful of times. So the whole moral, while it is good, feels incredibly counterintuitive, and it just feels like it's now pointless because I just can't believe that Angel is going to turn over a new leaf after this one episode. And considering that we're down to like how many episodes after this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Considering that we have 8 episodes left of the entire show, it's hard for me to believe that Angel is just going to be reformed just like that. So we do get some baby steps as Angel does eventually become part of the Predator Prey, basically sanctuary section.
I suppose I could kind of, sort of, help out every now and then. Oh, Angel, that is so sweet. But now that I know what you go through every day, I understand why your time with me is so important. I promise to always make time for you.
Yeah, well, as for me, I have something that I personally would like to say to Angel, considering I feel like that, yes, while it's a party episode, I feel like he just gets off scot-free and doesn't suffer any other additional consequences. So this is what I have to say to you first, Angel.
Hey, asshole! You know you're not walking away from this, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I would say to Angel, essentially. Whatever.
He's a fire lizard.
Yeah, so we found out that the gecko that the Corps brought is essentially a fire lizard, and I guess the vet basically discovered, and Fluttershy told her what happened, and eventually tells the Corps not to do the same thing again.
No surprises. Can you please never do that again?
Alright. So, that was She Talks to Angel. I'm gonna say it. No, I'm gonna say it. No, I'm really gonna say it because I'm so freaking upset right now, and it really brings me to the point. And I understand that people like this episode. I'm sorry, I really don't like this episode.
Yeah, come on, I said it! Who wants them? Come on!
Yeah. Now listen. And I know that there are other reviewers who like this episode, but I just can't get into it. Maybe it just might be because of my first impressions, but I'm sorry. This episode, here's the thing. In terms of body swap episodes, this episode's not the worst. I get what this episode is going through, but that doesn't mean it's not any less pleasant for me to watch. This episode basically proves what the audience already knew about Angel for 9 seasons. And like I said, I get that that's the point of the moral, and that essentially that, yes, Fluttershy has to learn that Angel does have a bit of a rough life, and counteractively, Angel has to understand what Fluttershy has to go through. So I guess in that point, the episode does get it right, and this episode does have its occasional funny moments where I will chuckle every now and then, but I'm sorry. This episode basically proves what I already knew about Angel, and that essentially he's a spoiled, entitled brat, and the fact that I feel like that he gets off a little bit scot-free when we're down to the last 8 episodes of the last season of the show, and displaying the bratty behavior that he did, it doesn't make me believe that Angel is going to be basically have a redemption. It's the same way how I felt about Garbo's redemption in Sweet and Smoky. Because it's the last season, for me, it feels too little too late for me, and because I just feel like that Angel is going to start back up again with the same crap that he did before, the whole moral, while admittedly is good, it just feels completely counterintuitive. And ignoring the one nitpick of basically Fluttershy wanting to get all the predators on a vegan diet when she's supposed to be an animal expert. Now, I don't know what else I could say about this episode. I think maybe if I give it more time, maybe it'll be better, but this is just an episode that I can't get into. So this episode is not the worst, because with some positives, like a couple of the jokes, and if you can get used to, well, and if you do enjoy seeing Angel being an asshole and eventually seeing his comeuppance, you can get more enjoyment. So at the very least, unlike some other episodes that I've reviewed on the show, I can at least understand why someone would actually like this episode, but this is an episode that I just really can't get into. Call it a love-hate episode for me. Honestly, for me, I think the only fair thing for me to do, I have have to give She Talks to Angel a C+. That's only the fairest thing for me to do. I just think that because of how aggravating Angel is as a character, and because I just feel that it just seems contrived that he has to have a redemption episode like Garble did on the show's final season, and with just seeing how, who's to say, Angel's not going to do the same thing all over again, I just think for me it's too little too late for me to think that Angel is a good character. And I think that while some reviewers can get past the whole thing now, how, like I said, considering that we're down to the last 8 episodes of the show, it's too little too late for me to... Now, like I said, this episode is not the worst, because believe me, after 2, 4, 6, great, there's no way any episode can get worse than that. But, unlike everyone else, I can't get into this episode. So, honestly, I have to give She Talks to Angel a C+. Alright, and I think because now I said we're down to the last 8 episodes, we're actually really starting to get closer to the end. Alright, so next time we are going to be looking at Dragon Dropped. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.